Brand new song called 11 Minutes on the world famous KROQ 106.7 KROQ. That's YUNGBLUD and Halsey.
Oh, yeah.
Who are here in studio with us right now on KROQ.
I'm
Don't
clapping
say a word.
again. I'm
Don't say a
clapping
word.
again.
Don't say a word.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do. That song is called what, Kevin?
11 minutes.
That's how long this interview is going to be. I'm hitting the
Ooh.
button right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 11 minutes with Halsey and YUNGBLUD.
You think we can pull that off?
No, have you guys ever done an interview with me before? I don't know how to shut up. Come on, this is not happening.
We
You're
talked
going to give
to you-
us each 11 minutes.
We talked to you 4 years ago.
I know. I was really scared to come in today.
Why?
Why?
I don't know, because I kind of feel like, it's obviously been a couple years, and I was here all the time, when
Right.
I was first starting out. I was coming in to visit you guys all the time. And
Some
I just
would
thought you
say
had a
too
crush on
much.
Stryker.
I mean, well, we can talk about that another time.
I mean, who doesn't?
I feel like Stryker had a crush on me, but that's besides the point. No, it's funny. I was just saying, I feel like I went to a high school, and I left to go to a rival high school, and now I'm back, and you guys are like, what, you think you can just show up at KROQ?
There's no rival high
Really?
schools.
You're like, no, I'm serious.
We're good with you.
I was walking in this morning like a little terrified that you guys were going to be like, you think you can just come in here after all that Closer business? Really? You think you just show up at an alternative radio station after all that Closer nonsense? And I was
Well-
like, oh my gosh, I just hope they forgive
We're
me.
good with that.
Here's what I have to
By
say,
the way, I
Halsey.
like that song.
Thank you.
I love that song. I'm going to tell you that you are, yes, true, you are a pop sensation. There's no question about that.
Oh,
but
boy.
you are one of those artists who is a singer who has her own point of view, sings and speaks from the heart. And there's always going to be room for people like you
Wow.
across the universe. I mean, there just is.
Agreed.
Yeah, but, but you are like a total sellout, Halsey. So
I know.
just reminding you. Yeah.
Okay, look, I promise you that I will be here more often.
Hey.
Okay.
All
All right. That's good.
Sure what
Just a
that means,
reminder.
but let's applaud.
Just a reminder. We have 10 minutes left.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
No, 9 minutes and 14 seconds.
thank you.
I'm
Let's
keeping
go.
track here, Judson.
Let's
All right,
go.
let's talk business up front, and then we'll see what we have time for after, because we just heard 11 Minutes, the new song that's been out like about 10 days or something like that. How did it happen? How did you guys come to know one another, for starters, I guess?
Dom?
Do you want me to go? Sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Amazing. Yeah. Everyone always says, like, was it a planned thing? Mm-hmm. And it absolutely wasn't.
Okay.
It was like, it just kind of came together in like a week, didn't it?
A day.
A day, but like,
Yeah.
All right, was it a day or a week?
from meeting to recording.
You
No.
are
it was
under oath, Dom.
I mean, I think
Yeah. And on the Bible, man.
we met because I was a huge fan of what YUNGBLUD was doing, and it's really inspiring for me to see an artist like him, because I've built a lot of my music and my fan base off of creating like culture for my fans,
Right.
where they feel like we speak a
Yeah.
secret language, and he's so similar in that respect, and it was just so organic, and it was kind of one of those things at first where I was like, I have to meet him, A, because I want to know what's going through his head, because I was there 4 years ago, and B, because I'm inspired and I want to learn more about what he's doing.
So it was a reach out. It was like, hey, I feel like we're speaking the same language here. We should get together.
No. I wasn't like, let's meet up and have a meeting. I was like, do you want to go get drunk?
Yeah, dude. Literally, I was just like, I was in the studio, I remember. I'm just like, Halsey just DM'd me. And all my mates just like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Wait, this is such BS. Do you know how many dudes on the regular I DM and I'm like, you want to get drunk? And then I'm blocked. So this is insane.
Okay, I will say, here's what I did. This is the power move, okay? This is how you gain control of the situation.
All right.
I just sent my phone number and no other words.
Yeah, dude, I know.
Baller.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm
Is
just like,
that right?
I was just kind of like a bit like a rabbit in headlights. I was like, what?
But it was cool because he was like, yeah, let's go. Totally. He happened to be in town, and we went and we had some drinks, and
We're at 7 minutes, Halsey.
okay, yeah, sorry. And we started talking
Rapid fire.
We started talking about the music we grew up on, and the cool thing is that since Dom's from Doncaster, I'm from New Jersey, which are kind of similar places in
towns.
different parts of the
Are they?
world.
Okay.
Yeah, like this like small places where people kind of fall into like their family's business, or they stay in the same town for a long time. They start a family young. You know what I mean? There's like not a whole lot of get out of this place culture, quote
Right,
unquote.
right.
So so we grew up on the same kind of music, but in a very different way, where he was growing up on, like, you know, Brit rock and Brit pop rock, and I was growing up on, you know, the American kind of like emo revival of like 2005 to 2015 or whatever. And when we met, it was cool because he was like, let me show you more about Blur. And I was like, let me tell you about Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah,
you know what I
totally.
mean? Which was really cool.
And that's what was sick, because I was like, whoa, man, you know what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Which was just so sick.
Well,
And
music fans together is always the most fun.
100%.
Yeah.
And it was just like a vomiting of just so much like energy instantly, which was sick.
This song, though, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm terrible at interpreting lyrics because, you know, especially when you fall in love with the beat and you go, oh, that's a bop.
Yeah.
But once I started listening and making out the lyrics, I thought,
That's a
this
bop.
is not a healthy relationship that is being described in this song. Am I wrong?
You know, it's not about a toxic relationship. It's actually Dom, while we were having drinks and we were talking about where we come from and like the stories, like some of the sad stories, because I think we both grew up in a place where like kids kind of either fell victim to like drug use, or there's like, you know, that small town sensation where people like mysteriously die. It's like it's a really dark thing, but like there's a lot of small towns where there's like a lot of kids before graduation. Like it's a weird like phenomenon that happens in small towns sometimes.
It sort of feels like a black hole where they
Kind
just
of,
can't get out of it.
Yeah, and we were talking about it, and one of the stories that you brought up was
about literally two young people, and they're the best.
5 minutes left.
I remember. Okay, sorry. All right, I'll speak.
Jesus, that's
I know. Tell me about it. It's like whoa.
exciting.
Okay, so basically, like two young people, and they're the best like kind of couple in high school. You know what I mean? You knew they were going to be together for like ever.
Yeah, like quarterback and cheerleader.
Exactly,
Totally.
quarterback and cheerleader, but kind of
But
football
British.
player and the girl who worked in the pub. And yeah, they were just kind of together, but they split up because of the way kind of society tells us to be. You know what I mean? It's like love has almost become secondary to success and power and a career. So they were kind of forced apart in that respect.
So they're trying to do what they're being told to do.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on, there's a plot
Instead of what their
twist.
heart
There's a
wants
plot
them to
twist.
do.
Plot twist.
Yes,
There's a
I'll-
plot twist. Do you want to do this plot twist?
No, you do the plot twist.
So basically, they split up. They agree to get back together.
Right.
After, I don't know, 3 years apart.
Okay, come on, 5 minutes.
So, okay, 2-3 years apart.
Four now,
and then
Halsey.
okay, fine. And then they meet. Wow, this is pressure. Whoa. They meet up. They agree to meet up. She texts him saying, "I'm 11 minutes away." He's waiting for her. She gets she gets into a car accident.
Oh.
And he is stood
Dog,
there.
you're a bad man.
What are you guys?
it's a true
What are you, M.
story.
Night?
It's
true
based on a true
really?
story. Yeah,
Okay.
it's based on a true story.
It was cool for me because if you're listening and you're familiar with like what I was just talking about, the music I grew up, one of my favorite songs growing up was by a band called Brand New, and it was a song called Limousine. And it was a song that Jesse Lacey wrote about a young girl in his town who gets killed on the way to her aunt's wedding. And in the bridal party. And it's a true story. It's a very sad song, but it was so moving. And so Don was telling me this story over drinks, and I was like, this reminds me of this song. And he was like, well, that's funny because I'm actually writing a song about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to be a part
Serendipity.
of it.
Yeah,
I
when I-
have to be
So
a part
that
of
all
it.
happened in the same night of having
Yes.
In like
drinks?
20 minutes.
When I was a kid, I listened to Paula Abdul Opposites Attract. Like, this is the darkest group of children listeners.
I know it's
less
horrendous.
than 3 minutes to go.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus,
Stop
this
putting
guy.
the pressure
This
on.
Yeah,
guy.
I know. Tell me about it.
We got
God's
11
sakes.
minutes. That's what we said. Okay. I have to ask. So, YUNGBLUD, Halsey, 11 minutes.
Yes.
There's Travis Barker on the record.
Yes.
How did that come to play?
Okay, this is the cool part.
This
of
is
the
so
story.
cool, man.
So
It's like-
we were in the studio and like we were hanging out and working on the record, and something wasn't right. It was like a little synthesized, like
Yeah.
it was a little too modern. Like we really wanted that nostalgic feeling of like the music that we grew up on. And Dom had mentioned in passing, he was like, I just miss that feeling, like, that like Blink-182, like that I grew up on. And me and Zach Cervini, one of the producers on the record, we were kind of like, oh, cool, we'll just call Travis. And Dom was
Yeah,
like,
bruv, my
just
jaw was
gonna
on the
call
floor.
Travis Barker.
Yeah, I was.
You're just gonna call Travis Barker and have him come to the studio. We were like, yeah, we are. And so we called him, and he was like, no way. And Travis showed up like 15 minutes later and was like, what's up?
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys postmated Travis Barker.
Yeah.
But he showed
Bro,
up
that
and
was freaking
he was
out.
super down. He was super into the record.
And Dom, you'd never met him before this?
Are you joking me, man? Like, 13-year-old me was crying. I'm like looking at him, like, what? And she goes out for a cigarette.
I will say that was a really impressive moment. I will say for Dom. Dom is a creative and as a executor, it was really incredible. I went outside to well, thanks for blowing up my spot. I went outside to have a break, and I came back inside.
sorry.
Yeah, thanks. And I came back inside, and Dom's leaning against the mixing board, looking through the glass, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, but could you try it like this?" And I'm like, "What?"
He's talking to Travis.
Don't tell him what to
I
do.
don't know, man. Nah, it
He
wasn't.
knows what he's doing. Don't tell him what to do.
It wasn't even.
Final
You
minute,
leave
you
for
guys.
1 minute.
Final 60 seconds.
Come
ladies and
on,
gentlemen.
shut up.
The song is great. We should probably go more into this. Now I'm nervous.
Dude.
What are your plans for the spring and summer, you guys?
I mean,
Oh my God, that ticking noise.
I know the ticking noise, like for a minute.
off.
Okay, ready? You go 10 seconds, I'll go 10 seconds. Go!
I'm finishing up my record, and I have a couple really exciting surprises happening in the festival world and some.
You mean the biggest secret unrelated to the album when you guys hear it, some of you are going to explode? That secret?
You know what's funny is that applies to actually a bunch of stuff. I just said it because I was like, this could be anything.
And for me, loads of touring, man, across the states, across the world, and loads more new music. Let's
Some
go!
really great new music.
Do you guys have anything more though? We have a couple more seconds.
We have,
Anything more you
14
plan on?
seconds left.
Anything more this summer?
I mean, well,
10.
and subject of the song, the music video is out
Yeah, it
today,
is.
Friday.
Do you
and
guys like
it's-
pasta?
we
Yeah,
love
man, loads,
pasta.
man. I love it.
I make
She
great
makes an incredible
pasta.
pasta.
I think that's our time.
Legit.
Spicy
Ladies and gentlemen, this has
rigatoni.
been Halsey and Youngblood for 11 minutes on the world famous KROQ.
Wow, my heart's in my
Okay,
ears.
stressed.